Raleigh, citizen reporter Robert Courts coming to you from the Your Backyard Network. Once again, I am on the trail of a hot lead to interview a local business professional who stands above and beyond the average local entrepreneur. My guest today is Laura Landsiedel Ford. Laura, thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Well, Laura, we were very happy to extend the invitation. As small businesses go, you really do represent much of the power of local. You do so much for the community. But beyond that, you are on the cusp of or just after a 19th anniversary. Is that correct?
Yes, we're in our 19th year, heading into our 20th, and we have no intention of going anywhere.
Well, that certainly speaks to the power and strength of what you do and how you provide for the community. Would you take just a minute and tell us a little bit about Hands-On Health?
Okay. Well, Hands-On Health, we started it as a group practice about 20 years ago with the intention of bringing some quality body work, consistent quality body work to the Triangle area. Not to say that it wasn't already here, but we wanted to have a little bit of a louder presence so that we could represent massage therapy as a true profession that it is. And I really feel like we've done that. And over the years, we've consistently held about between 10 to 15 therapists, 15, 20 therapists all at a time. And we had been in Raleigh and as well as in Cary and merged into a larger practice in the last 4 years.
Well, I remember as a founding member of Your Backyard all those years ago when we were picnicking at Humble Pie and having a good time. And you would just walk up and put your hand on my shoulder and do something. I'd be like, oh, that feels so good.
I'm sure I asked.
Of course, it was very professional, very lovely.
Very professional.
But it was just that kind of technique that, or that kind of introduction that led me to one of my very first massages on one of the Hands-On Health table. And since then, it has been a very important part of my health practices.
Well, fantastic. I'm glad you've kept up with it over the years. To get a little serious for a minute, we're kind of in a weird world where I like to say to people, sit back and think for a second. Where's the last time you actually touched somebody's, whether it was their hand, their shoulder, or your doctor has even touched you. So massage therapy definitely has a place in this world where we're moving further and further away from tech and more into technology. So I like being here. I like being here during this strange time of our world that we live in. I think we're necessary. We're not
I think you're very necessary. I run into people who aren't actively pursuing massage as part of their health care, whether it be mental health or physical health. I am fortunately at a phase in my life where the massage for me is more like a mini vacation. After I get off the table, I have my term, what I call the holiday head. I'm up, I'm happy, I'm looking around. It's like when you go on holiday and you don't know the place, you're looking at the architecture. You just take in life differently when you've had the mindset of a good physical massage.
Absolutely. And you say that I'm in the place now in my massage world, like you said, as a customer or as a person receiving, I feel that way too. When I was first receiving massage, I was very technical. I was like, I need my shoulder treated. And then one day I realized I could have my shoulder treated and my brain at the same time. Yes. And I love that feeling of being able to take away I call it resetting my computer.
Yeah.
I'm very high strung. I'm type A. I kid around about it a lot, but the little hamsters upstairs never stop and there's times when I just need it doesn't matter if I'm hurting or not. I need this thing to just slow down so I can gain greater perspective. When I start to get distressed and I'm trying to tolerate distress, I do use massage for that reason too. It helps me gain some perspective and slow down and take a deep breath and shut up.
I too have a hamster. And one of the things I've been very privileged to have therapists like you, Laura, that not only are good at the table, but they'll say things like, while you're at home, you can find a door jamb and you can get those 2 knots that you get, Robert, Just get up on that door jam for 7 minutes and, or, hey, I'm going to send you home with this pad or these roller balls or this technique. So
Right.
what starts on the table very quickly becomes a daily habit.
Well, one of the philosophies, the reason I've stuck always with massage therapy, just loved it from the moment I was introduced to it 25 years ago, is that you start to learn the technique into your body. You start to become your own advocate. We like to think of ourselves as healthcare providers, which we are, but also at the table with the other healthcare providers. And the person that's sitting at the center of the table is the person who's receiving the healthcare. If you can just get them to start pulling and integrating and grabbing the information from each person that they need and carrying it into their lives. Also carrying it into their lives without judgment. Like, I didn't do my homework today. I was like, I know you're human. You're just like the rest of us. That's what we're here for. We're going to put some of those fires out. We're going to get you motivated again to be back in your body. And then we'll see what happens.
Right.
Just let it go.
Let it go. For me, though, a little bit deeper, I hate to belabor the point, but when you go to your doctor, right, you often get 10 minutes with the doctor who comes in and does nothing, but you get more time with the nurse or the PA, and they're spending a little more time. I've always said they're doing a good bit of the healthcare, sometimes more than the doctor. But when you get an hour, 90 minutes, if you're lucky, really lucky, on a table, on a regular routine basis, you guys are providing other health knowledge, right? You even then more so for the nurse, that regular hour and a half with somebody who can really put you in a good mental state is true health care.
Yeah. Some people, they just need it more frequently with less time. Some people don't have that attention span to stay on the table for 90 minutes. Other people, it takes 45 minutes of a 90-minute session to get there and to get down into that place where their body's starting to absorb the information you're trying to give it. One of the things I love to say to people, sometimes we hold a pressure point for quite a bit of time. And it's like making a phone call to the brain. The brain is very distracted about the daily living of everything. And you're trying to make a phone call to it, and it has to ring for quite a bit of time before it gets picked up.
Come on.
Yeah. So sometimes we have to slow down and wait. And so we're kind of nudging and negotiating and comparing. So yes, we're here for what each person needs. People come in with a lot of assumptions, and in my opinion, they need to be a little coached about how to talk about themselves when it comes to a massage, so that then each time they come in, they can get that massage honed in just a little bit differently for what they need that day, or just a little bit better than last time. Sometimes it's the same therapist. Sometimes it's a group of us that are helping keep the consistency going, so that person's nervous system is reminded what it needs to start doing. So I just love all parts of the massage, but also just accepting where you're at now, and then maybe can we get to a different plateau that feels a little bit better on a daily basis.
Well, Laura, let me just assure you, Raleigh, Cary, the Wake County area is lucky to have you in its backyard. You excel at what you do. And don't take my word for it. Take 19 years of thriving in this community, Raleigh. If my audience wants to get in touch with you, Laura, what's the best way to contact Hands On Health?
Well, the best way to contact the group practice is by maybe reaching out, making a phone call. Currently, right now, we are upskilling to 2 or 3 therapists that have joined the team. I want everybody in the area, Triangle community, to realize massage therapy. Your therapist may not always be there. They may stay in the field for 5 to 10 years, but the practice is here at large. So if you can get to know the practice as a group and get to know a few of the people here, you'll get a little bit more consistency, just like you would any other practice as well. So to get to know the team, to get to know what our philosophy is, if it fits with you. But we are working with some people. We may be able to give you a discount if you call and mention Robert's.
Oh, for real?
Yes. You're going to be seeing the therapists that are learning into the more specific techniques, but that doesn't mean if they were hired by us, there's a reason.
Oh, yeah.
So the other thing when you're calling, to mention whether you're a chatty type or whether you're a quiet type, because we have a chatty person on our team that she's very good at what she does. And then there's a few of us that are quieter, and I'm not going to say which one I am, but I'm a little bit chattier, but I can shut up if I'm told to. And then there's others that sometimes that's just not their thing, and they're more of a talkative type. So it's nice to kind of get to know you when you're being interviewed by the front desk at first, to just say what it is that you would really like to have as your first introduction to massage therapy. So we'll give 20% off if you see one of the therapists that is they're building a practice. They're basically building a following. So just call and give us an ask, and 919-854-9555 is our phone number.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that YBY discount. A little something for our friends and friends of friends.
Got to mention this podcast.
I love it. I love it. Raleigh, Carrie, all this hands-on health, Laura Landsiedel Ford, and more is where? In your backyard. Thanks for joining me, Laura. Let's wave them out. See you, Raleigh. See you soon, Carrie.